Mr. Pretend-gineer makes all the mistakes imaginable while he's in university. He skips his lectures because he's busy. He leaves his group project members on red, and he doesn't even know what he wants to do with his degree later on. Well, Mr. Pretend-gineer, at least you're doing your statics homework. Wait, you're not working, you're cheating using ChatGPT and Chegg. Shame on you, Mr. Pretend-gineer. I'm gonna give you a very valuable lesson today on all of the mistakes that you're making as an engineering student. Mistake 1. Lack of integrity. So I was on this date one time with one of the only girls in my engineering student cohort, right? And everything was going well. We were having good conversations. She was laughing, I was laughing, you know how it is. And then she asked me this one question. Oh, Aaron, did you ever cheat on your work in high school? And I responded honestly. I said that there was this one time in grade 9 when I was 15 years old, I cheated on a history test and I felt so bad about it. And then I asked her if she cheated throughout high school. I cheated all the time throughout high school. I looked at my friend's assignment, they looked at my assignments, I looked at their exams, they looked at my exams. The teachers didn't care, so I cheated throughout pretty much all of it. If you know anything about me, it's that my blood boils at the thought of cheaters. So yeah, I haven't seen that girl in a while. Now let me tell you why it's especially important that engineering students don't cheat. It's because that engineering students are future engineers who will be tinkering with literal science. Applied science is what engineering is, right? And what is science? Pretty much the code of the universe. And if you cheat throughout university and you don't understand the concepts that you're being taught, then you risk disasters happening. It has happened countless times. The Gambira Bridge incident, Liari building, Bhopal gas tragedy, Sampung department store. These are just a few of the many engineering disasters that has happened. And you could argue like, oh, it's the CEO's fault. Oh, the CEO was being greedy. But us engineers, we have the right to not work on something that we know is unethical. So if you wire your brain to act unethically throughout engineering school, that habit is going to carry out into your career. And I don't think you want that blood on your hands, do you? I wouldn't myself. Everyone in this world depends on the work of engineers. This microphone made by an engineer, this laptop made by an engineer, this house, structural engineers, this phone that you're watching on, software engineers, consumer products engineers. Engineers do work that affect everybody in this world. You can't avoid it. So let me ask you a question. Would you want to have products that was made by an engineering student who cheated their way through the degree? I don't think so. And nobody else does. So you yourself shouldn't be acting unethically throughout university. You shouldn't be abusing ChatGPT. You shouldn't be abusing Chegg. So if you've agreed with what I've said so far and you're one of the rare students out there who don't act unethically, who act with integrity, then I think you should be part of the community that I'm starting to build right now. I'm trying to assemble all of the greatest engineering students out there into one group. I even have courses inside which helps you build your experience. So go check it out when you get the chance. Mistake number 2, lack of experience. Now, Pretend-gineers will all say the same phrase of like, oh, you need experience to get experience. But that's not true. That's not true at all. Look at my story. I didn't have any design club experience, no research experience with professors, no connections on LinkedIn or anything. I didn't join the co-op program at my university and I had no prior industrial experience. I had so many things that people said that I should have had, yet my first internship was secured within 2 weeks of me searching. As a matter of fact, I got 2 offers. How did I do it? I did it through personal projects. I built my experience on my own. I implemented the theoretical knowledge that was being taught to me in my classes. I applied that on my own through my projects like gearboxes, engine models, etc., etc. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you an opportunity. You don't have to connect with the CEO of HP to get an opportunity as an intern, because the first level of all experience is projects. The group projects, the design club projects, and personal projects. And then once you have this baseline of experience, then you can climb up the ladder to an internship. And once you have gone through the internship, learn all the fabrication processes, the design processes, and what it means to be an engineer on a team, then you can move up to your dream career, the one that you probably have defined by now. So here's some action steps that you could take. Instead of doing the bare minimum in group projects, instead you should lead and dominate the projects. Do the dirty work that nobody else wants to do. And then you could talk about those stories in the interview when you're trying to get an internship. or you could join a design club, or you could start a design club. That'll show that you have great initiative. Lastly, my cup of tea is making personal projects. Literally just making projects on your own, not depending on anyone else to tell you what to do, not depending on some professor to give you an assignment. So choose one of these things that I mentioned on how you could build your baseline level experience: group projects, design club projects, or your personal projects. In the link down in the description, I teach you how to make personal projects because it is my specialty. I've seen results from it, and I know that it's unreasonable for you not to get the same results that I got. Mistake 3, lack of direction. Now, all the other pretend-gineers out there, they're doing engineering for either 1, money, or 2, money. They don't do it for anything else. They don't have any passion towards engineering. We all know that. We've seen them. They're fucking sleeping through the lectures. They don't contribute in any of the group projects. They lower your GPA. They're selfish people who just want money. And obviously financial support is important. But if you're just doing engineering for that, then that's disrespectful to the engineering students like me. And I'm assuming like you, who is passionate. You've made it this far into the video. I know you're passionate about engineering. You've agreed with what I've said so far. You've been nodding your head along the way. But these pretend-gineers, they don't understand our mindset. Or some of them will make fun of you when you try to be passionate about engineering. I get comments all the time saying, oh, this guy's so corny. But yeah, sure, I am corny, but I'm speaking my passion. And you shouldn't be afraid to speak your passion about what you want to do in engineering. You have a direction, so express that direction. And if you don't have a direction yet, then define that direction, which is the main lesson of this chapter of the video. Mistake number 3, lack of direction. Think about what work you want to do to help this world. There's so many different industries and micro industries that you could get into. Transportation or sustainable energy. That's just to name a few. So think about it. What would your younger self be proud of you doing right now? That's a really interesting question that I want you to think about. Like, for example, if you're a kid who loved playing with Hot Wheels, then maybe the automotive industry is right for you. It's pretty likely, honestly. If you're a kid that liked building stuff with Legos, then maybe you would be a great structural engineer. If you're a kid that loved drawing and drafting, maybe architectural engineering would be good for you. Or a funny example is when I was like 7 years old, there was this one friend that I had who would always play in the gravel after it rained because there would be puddles and puddles everywhere, and he would start to make rivers out of these puddles, and he would he did a bunch of stuff. But a cool career for him, for example, would be like an irrigation systems engineer. So for yourself, find your equivalent to what you were passionate about as a child, and try to dig deep around to see what type of engineering career would align with that childlike passion. And trust me, there are a lot of sub-industries out there in engineering. Okay, so it is possible to align your childlike passions to one of these engineering industries. All right, that's all I got to say for you in this video. Mistake number 1 was lack of integrity. Mistake number 2 was lack of experience, and mistake 3, lack of direction. All right, so if you've agreed with what I've said throughout this video and you're a like-minded engineering student like I am, then I recommend that you click the link in the description, join my programs where it includes communities, portfolio templates, as well as personal project courses so that you can start building your baseline level of experience, the base of that pyramid. Remember what we talked about earlier? That's what I teach you how to do inside of there. All right, thank you so much for watching this video and making this far. And yeah, I'll see you next time.